The night my sister died, I got a call from her number. I stared at the screen for a long time. Her name, her contact, lighting up my phone like she was still alive. I didn't answer. I told myself it was a mistake, a glitch, someone else using her phone. But deep down, I knew my sister. And I knew she never did anything without a reason. Her name was Layla Mercer, my older sister by 4 years. She was the kind of person who remembered everything, your favorite color, the exact words you said 3 years ago, the way you took your coffee, the things that made you nervous. She had this quiet strength about her, like she was always watching, always thinking, always protecting. We grew up in a small house in Ohio, just the two of us, our mother and our Uncle Marcus. Our father passed when I was 9. After that, Marcus became the man of the family, or at least, that's what he told everyone. The night Layla died, it was raining. They said her car slid off Route 9, hit a guardrail, went into the creek. By the time anyone found her, it was too late. The police closed the case in 11 days. Accidental death. Everyone cried, everyone wore black, and then everyone moved on. Except me. My name is Daniel Mercer. And I couldn't let go. Not because I didn't want to heal, but because something deep in my chest kept saying, "This isn't right." 3 weeks after the funeral. My phone rang at 11:47 p.m. I was sitting in Layla's old room. I went there every night, just sitting in the quiet, holding her old scarf, staring at her bookshelf, trying to feel close to someone who was no longer there. Then I heard it, my ringtone cutting through the silence. I looked down at the screen. Layla, home. I dropped the phone, picked it back up with shaking hands. I told myself, someone found her phone, someone is calling by accident. I answered, silence. Then, Danny. That's what she called me, not Daniel, not Dan. Danny. Only Layla ever called me that. I couldn't breathe. Layla, she said, don't be scared, just listen. And I did. She knew about the argument, the one we had 3 months before she died, the one I never told a single person about. I had said something cruel to her, about her choices, about our family, about how she always acted like she knew better than everyone else. I had walked out of her apartment and slammed the door. We hadn't spoken properly since. I carried that guilt every single day, like a stone sitting in the middle of my chest. And now, this voice, this impossible voice on the phone said, "You didn't ruin us, Danny. I forgave you the same night you left." I started crying right there, because no one knew about that fight. Not our mother, not our uncle, not her closest friends, no one. The voice kept going. "I need you to know something important, something the police don't know, something no one knows." A pause, then, "That's not how I died." The line went quiet, then the call dropped. I sat in the dark, completely still, replaying those 6 words. "That's not how I died." Over and over and over. I went back to everything. The police report, the timeline of that night. Layla had called our Uncle Marcus at 9:15 p.m. He told police they spoke briefly, that she sounded completely fine. But when I found her old call records, that call lasted 22 minutes. Not 5, not brief, 22 minutes. He had lied. I didn't say anything, not yet. I just watched. Marcus had been different since the funeral. Not grieving different. Something else entirely. He was too calm, too organized, like a man managing a situation, not mourning someone he claimed to love. He kept asking about Layla's documents, her savings, her property, the paperwork from our father's estate. He offered to handle everything for our mother. She trusted him completely. She always had. I let him move forward, and I watched every step he took. 7 days later. Same time. 11:47 p.m., same number. I answered before the second ring. "You're looking into it," she said. "How do you know?" I asked. "Because that's exactly what I hoped you would do." She told me to go to her old storage unit. She had rented it 2 months before she died. Unit 14, green door. She said the key was taped underneath the left leg of her old wooden desk, the one our mother had moved into the garage after the funeral. I went to the garage that same night. I crouched down in the dark with a flashlight. And there it was. A small silver key, taped exactly where she said. The storage unit was neat. Boxes stacked carefully. Labels on every one. Classic Layla. In the back corner, one box stood apart from the rest. Written on the side in her handwriting. "For Danny. If something happens." I opened it slowly. Inside, a notebook. Filled with dates, names, and numbers. Financial transfers. Property records going back years. A small voice recorder, and a letter. Her handwriting. Careful and steady. I read it standing right there. "Danny, if you found this, then I wasn't careful enough. Uncle Marcus has been stealing from Dad's estate for 11 years. I found the proof 6 months ago. I confronted him directly. He threatened me. At first, I didn't take it seriously. Then I started to. I began scheduling these voice messages. Set to reach your phone automatically if I didn't cancel them myself. You're not losing your mind. You're not imagining things. It is really me, telling you the truth while I still can. Find the notebook, find the recorder, and please, Danny, protect Mom." I sat down on the cold floor of that storage unit. The letter in one hand, the notebook open in my lap. And all I could think was, she knew. She knew she was in danger, and instead of running, she made a plan, a quiet, careful, detailed plan, to protect us, even after I had walked out on her, even after the things I said. She still thought of me first. The voice recording was 38 minutes long. Layla's voice, calm and clear the entire time. No panic, no tears. Just facts, documented carefully, one by one. Marcus had been forging our father's signatures for over a decade, redirecting money from the estate into his own accounts. When Layla found the paper trail and confronted him, he begged her to stay quiet. She refused. She told him she was going to the authorities. That conversation happened 14 days before her accident. I took everything to a private attorney first, then to a detective outside our county, someone with no connection to Marcus, no reason to protect him. It took 62 days, but the investigation reopened. A second medical examination found things the first one had missed, details that hadn't added up, details that someone had made sure weren't looked at too closely. Marcus was arrested on a quiet Tuesday morning. I watched from across the street. I didn't feel victory. I didn't feel relief. I felt empty, because my sister was still gone, and no handcuffs in the world could change that. The night after the arrest, my phone rang one final time, 11:47 p.m. Her number. I sat on the edge of the bed and stared at it for a moment. Then I answered. "It's the last one," she said. "I only scheduled 8 messages. This is the last." Her voice was soft, steady. "I don't need you to be okay right now, Danny. I just need you to keep going. Take care of Mom. Don't let what Marcus did turn you into someone angry. Don't let what happened to me make you afraid to love people. And please, stop sitting in my room every single night." I laughed. Right through the tears, I actually laughed out loud, because of course she knew. She always knew. "I love you, Layla," I said. The message couldn't respond. It was recorded, pre-scheduled. She had spoken those words weeks before I heard them. But in the silence that followed, in that stillness before the call finally ended, I felt something settle inside me. The way only a brother can feel. She already knew I loved her. She had always known. Some people leave this world, but they never truly leave the people who loved them. Layla didn't reach back from the other side to haunt me. She reached back to finish what she had always done while she was alive. Protect her family. The greatest thing she ever taught me wasn't in any conversation we had. It was in what she did when she was alone and afraid. She thought of others first. If this story stayed with you, drop a heart below and tell me, would you have answered that call? Share this with someone who has lost someone too soon. And if you want more stories that make you feel something real, you already know what to do.